Hey, everybody. Welcome to, what is this, episode 3 of Shooting the Breeze?
Yeah.
Episode 3 of Shooting the Breeze with your man, Matt, and your man, Ben, and joined by a very special guest, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, CEO himself, Christopher Woodburn. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Matt. Happy to be here. This is going to be a blast.
Oh, for sure. And based on what our starting topic is, we're going to have a lot of fun. So we might as well just hop into it. The starting topic is, how did you discover this wonderful community known as Schmoville?
All right, so let's take it all the way back to April 17th, 2015. I had just gotten done watching the Batman v Superman teaser trailer for probably like the 50th time. And in my recommended feed, I see AMC Movie Talk. I'm like, curious, what's this? So I click on it, I watch, and that episode had John Campea, Dennis Zen, Alicia Malone, and Sinead DeFries. I watched that episode, I was hooked, and then from there, getting to know Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, the late great R.I.P. John Schnepp, to so many more people. It became my life to where I had to tune in each and every day.
So you preceded me by, I'd say, 8 months. Me, it was The Force Awakens. And I saw the movie, and then I got home, and I was just trying to find anything on it, and I came across Movie Fights with Ken Knapsack. And so that's the first time I heard about the schmoes. And then at the end of the episode, Dan hyped up the very first Spectacular.
Really?
Yes. And so I watched the Spectacular not long after that. And then from there, I realized, oh, hey, there's Movie Talk. And then I watched that. And then, oh, shit, what's this Schmoes Know thing? And that's how I came into Schmoville.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't speak to it enough. Coming across them, it changed my life. Like,
I'm with you there, brother.
All of this, I didn't have people that I could really talk movies with that were passionate like me. So watching them, it was like discovering a whole new family that I never knew I had.
100%. The only regret I have is I didn't come across them earlier.
Oh, believe me, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did it take me this long to find these guys? Because truth be told, I started watching Jeremy John reviews in 2010.
Oh, wow. Yeah, considering how that far back, it's surprising you didn't actually come across them earlier.
Yeah.
How about you, Ben? How'd you come across Schmoville?
2013. I just got back from St. Man of the Snow. And I looked for reviews, and I came across the famous John Campea, John Schnepp, and thought, look, a spoiler review. And that's how that was my entry point. From there, I went to AMC Movie Talk, and the rest is history.
So basically, we all pretty much came about the same way. We were just finished a movie, and we were trying to find stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you hit the nail on the head. Like, honestly, we've got this community now where we can talk movies or whatever. But besides that, what is the biggest thing that you have gotten from the community?
Just having people that I can talk to, and people that are now through all of this have become some of my best friends, and it's people that I have yet to meet, and that's amazing to me.
Yeah, I'd probably have to say the same thing as you. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met Ben. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't have met my brothers from another mother at the Schmoes of the North, who are pretty much now becoming really good friends of mine. Like, I mean, it wouldn't have afforded me the opportunity to do any of this. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on all that.
Yeah, and I could say, I mean, I went to the Brooklyn event back in January, and it was like I was home. I'll never forget. I'm walking up to do my picture with Christian and Ellis because I got in the VIP. And as I'm walking up, Christian looks and he's like, C-Dub, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. And he gives me a big hug. And then Ellis gives me a big hug. They showed me so much love. And then it was amazing. And I'll never forget, Christian asked me, he's like, how are you enjoying it so far? I'm like, I'm meeting my idols. How could it not be great?
Yeah, I'm envious of you guys because you guys, I know Ben's in Los Angeles. Where are you located there, C-Dub?
I'm in Baltimore.
Okay, so you guys are closer than I am to get to witness any of this stuff. So I'm really, really jealous of you guys.
Sadly, I haven't gone to one.
You're still closer than me.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's like an 18-hour drive to Vancouver, and then it's like another like 12 hours to Los Angeles from there. So yeah.
Well, what's funny, I mean, it sucks because, COVID has thrown a wrench into a lot of plans this year. I would have been at the free-for-all.
Really?
I still have my ticket. I've had to do ticket transfers for whenever they do have an event. My airfare was booked. I had to get a refund for that. But I would have been at the free-for-all, and I was so excited for that.
Yeah, no kidding. That's like if you're going to attend any event, that's pretty much the event to attend, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. That's what I said. I was like, as great as Brooklyn was, the free-for-all is another kind of beast because I would have gotten to meet everybody.
And was it? They did this fan expo at what? Spectacular?
Yeah, last year's Spectacular.
Yeah, I think probably the best place to have done it would have been the free-for-all because everyone's already there.
Yeah. But
So
now it looks like Spectacular is not going to be a live event, so I'll just keep transferring my ticket over until a live event does happen.
Yeah, and pray it's sooner rather than later. So, if I may ask, what is your guys' been favorite event to happen so far?
I mean, if we're talking this year, I'm biased because I went to the Brooklyn event, so that would be my answer. But I mean, the live, even though the digital matches, they're not quite as great as the studios. Corruption winning the belts over Founding Fathers was great. Like, I was rooting for them, and then I came on, in the post-match Q&A for the patrons. The wonderful things that Shannon said to me, it meant the world.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, she called me amazing and one of the best fans, and I'm the kind of fan that the league needs, and that was it got me all mushy.
Yeah, I can still see you blushing right now. Like, I gotta admit, that's the Schmoedown fan's dream right there.
Yeah.
I'd have to say, for moment, it's the Five Horsemen reveal. I don't think anything will ever top that moment. But for event, I'd say probably top to bottom, Spectacular 2. I think had the best card. That's the one where you had Levine beat Harloff for the title. You had I think was it the first above the line Patriots match?
Yes.
Yeah. You had Roca getting speared.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, yeah, the card was really, really good.
And what's crazy about that above the lines Patriots match, because I do reactions. I mean, I've taken a little bit of a break recently. But I just started doing reactions, and in my reaction, I'm screaming, "Remember the Titans," because I knew that answer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a. I'd probably put that up there with some of the one of the best series of matches, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
I think I would have to go to Spectacular 3 for events.
Right.
I really love storyline wise. I love how Christian was revealed to me like the true puppet master behind the whole Mike Fad thing. That was great. The Ethan Welcome match, one of my favorite matches.
Okay.
And when that also the last time, not the last time, the the Shire Wolves beat Who's the Boss.
Yeah, that was when they beat Who's the Boss. Yeah, that was the we are the league moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my favorite event. I have two favorite moments. The Five Horsemen reveal
Yeah.
and Draco's clearing the table in FIFA 1.
Yes, that was really, really good, especially because nobody picked up on it at first.
Right, and then there's all the excitement building. And
Yeah.
really got rid of on that table. It's amazing.
Yeah, you had Roca, you had Merle, you had Bibbs, you had Andraco, and you had McWeeny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Murderer's Row, that's the 27 Yankees of the Schmodown right there.
Right.
At the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know it didn't happen in an event, but I do want to throw out the moment of Finn Draco.
Oh my God.
Just seeing Mark sitting there with the mask. Just...
Yeah, that was certainly something. And then Makuga pulled out the win.
Yep, pulled it out his ass like he normally does.
Yeah.
Yeah, repping the old school Mega Powers myself.
Oh, nice. And they didn't realize that.
Well, this is the wrestling T-shirt, but I mean they were the Mega Powers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man Savage.
I will say also, taking the Brooklyn event aside because of my personal bias, Spectacular 3 was really special because I was a person, I know that the Shire Wolves had their haters. I was a Shire Wolves fan from day one.
Yeah, me too.
I always supported them. And when they beat Brienne and her partner, sick in my head, I can't remember her partner's name.
Yeah, wasn't his name? I think his name was like Brian something or other.
Yeah, Brian something. And they still didn't get their props after that. And then when they beat Who's the Boss at Spectacular, I was like, this is their moment. Nobody can take it away from them now.
Yeah,
that's why I really felt like they earned most of the fans' respect at that point.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. Like the BS they got for that was a fucking joke. Like they did not deserve to get that. Brian Bishop is his name.
Brian Bishop.
Yeah. No, sorry, go ahead.
Is that the only match he played in? I mean, I don't recognize that name.
Yeah, that's the only match he's played in.
Yeah, and you know what's great? And you know what's crazy about that match? As I remember, because I used to do a Schmodown after show, I remember making predictions. Now they ended up being a pair, Brienne and Drew McWeeny. But I remember saying her mystery partner was going to be Drew McWeeny because he didn't necessarily want to give up the team belts, but Sam wanted to retire. I thought Brienne was going to team up with him for that match.
Yeah, that definitely would have been interesting. And honestly, if he'd have been in there, there's a strong possibility the Shire Wolves would have won.
I still give them the edge. I mean, because that was my team. Like I rooted so hard for them. I still think they would have pulled it out, but it would have been. I mean, it ended up being a KO after round 4. It would have been a more interesting match as far as competition, but I still believe that they would have won because they were hungry.
Yeah, they're without a doubt. Like I'd put them up there with the Patriots as the best team in the league.
Now, I don't have a problem when people say the Patriots, but at the same time, you got to take a look at the teams that they defeated. And not to take anything away from Snyder and JTE, but they didn't beat juggernauts. Like the Shire Wolves, they beat some juggernaut teams above the line.
Yeah. Well, no, Shire Wolves never beat above the line. The Patriots beat above the line.
No, that's what I was about to say. That's really above the line's really the only team they beat, and then they lost to them twice in a row.
Well, they beat top 10, which wasn't in their heyday. Okay, how about Team Trek?
Not a powerhouse.
Okay, definitely not MODOK. They were not a powerhouse.
No.
Who else did they beat?
They did beat They did beat Clark and Riley.
Yeah, I'd say that's a powerhouse. They may not have won, but I'd say
That
that's
is
up
a
there.
fair point. I just
Um,
the Patriots were great. I'm not disputing that. I'd have them probably at this point now either number 3 or maybe even number 4.
fair enough. You're right. It is different eras. It's like trying to compare like Babe Ruth and I don't know, Henderson or something like that. Like both dominant players, but in two totally different eras. So I understand what you're saying very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring up the Patriots Collider era. So yeah, so let's see who they won after the title. So yeah, Team Track, Wolves of Steel, Team 10, Modoc, Above the Line, and then
They beat top 10 3 times.
yeah, they beat him for the title. They beat him, and then they beat him 2 other times. Yeah, they beat top 10 before they lost the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that the one where it was like they badly beat the shit out of the top 10? It was like second round.
Yeah, one of the matches was ugly. I can't remember which one, but one of them was a KO.
Yeah, that was the third one.
Okay.
I forget, didn't the Patriots, did they ever play Team Atkinson?
No,
That would have been a fun match.
No. I'm
Can
on
you
the.
imagine?
Oh God, yeah, but those 2 shit talkers back in the day against JT and Snyder. Fuck.
I will say this though about Snyder. It is damn impressive he was able to win a title on 2 different teams. And him and Andreyko, they beat the Shire Wolves. I mean, the Shire Wolves came back and regained the belt, but that wasn't. I give Snyder a lot of credit for that, though.
Yeah, 100%. I wish they maybe had held the team belts like for at least defended it once.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. Snyder is probably he's like an underrated Mount Rushmore player.
Yeah, I don't think I can argue with that, especially given his run in this singles tournament. Because how many? Honestly, if you asked 100 Schmodown fans, how many would have predicted he would have beat Ethan? I think no more than 5.
Yeah, right. Yeah, considering he did. He lost to Ethan before. I mean, his track record hasn't been the best in singles.
Yeah.
I just hope we don't see another 70s category moment.
I'll never forget that. I remember watching it like, man, he really just threw in the towel there.
Pretty much, yeah. I know I was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Snyder's record. Snyder is singles record 13-7. You know what? That's really, really good.
It's a 65 win percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely give it to him. Oh, you got to never forget his very first match.
Oh, against Humberto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God.
I don't forget that. That was ugly.
Who won? I know.
Snyder, because Humberto gave him the fucking answers.
Snyder annihilated him.
Yeah, KO'd him.
I forgot how that went. I might have to go rewatch that one.
Oh,
that
okay.
was actually my first season of watching the Schmodown was season 3. I mean, I went back and watched season 1 and 2, but Campy and Merle, that was my first ever Schmodown match.
Oh, really?
Mine too.
Well, like I said, Spectacular is where I got hooked, but I did actually see a match prior to that. It just didn't get me at that time. I saw Merle versus Wolf.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It didn't. The concept just didn't click with me at that time. It wasn't until I saw the Spectacular and saw the full card. I was like, oh, it's just fucking WrestleMania.
Do you know the story behind that match?
Which one?
Merle and Wolf, part of the first. So that match was actually supposed to originally happen a Friday night because that was when they taped. But then Merle, for whatever reason, he was busy. He couldn't get away from work. So then they had to reschedule a match from like 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and they were both so tired for that match. And I mean, Dan, he played better than Clark did, but Clark said that impacted her big time because she was exhausted.
Yeah, I think I had heard that before. Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
I never heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like one of my favorite things to listen to is wrestling podcasts where they talk about the history. I hope we get to a point with the Schmodown where we can actually get those type of podcasts where it's like you hear the stories of what happened in the early seasons, behind the scenes stuff, like what Jacinto just said. Yeah, or what, at some point, and you know what, your show, Ben, could possibly turn into that because you're doing something similar because you're profiling people.
Yeah. Trust me, I've had to come up, but we're still figuring it out.
No, for sure. But I mean, like, that's the kind of show that comes to mind when you think about those, right? Because you're profiling people.
Right, agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm looking at Snyder's record, and it's funny, his singles record, he's got this is how it goes: win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, win, lose, lose. Win, lose, lose, and then 4 wins.
He's hot and cold. I mean,
yeah.
He's a definition of it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
So we know that Snyder's in the finals. Who do you think is going to face, Liz Shannon Miller or Adam Collins?
Adam Collins. Oh, Jesus. My gut says Adam Collins, but yeah, Liz has got a really good shot.
My gut says Liz.
I mean, you can't go wrong with either one. I do, and you could call me a corruption stan pretty much at this point now, but I'm going with Adam Collins.
Okay. You think because he got the hot hand right now?
I mean, he's hot. That format he's already used to. I mean, Liz is obviously, she's gotten used to it in these matches, but I'm going with Collins because I'm pretty much a corruption stan at this point.
Fair enough. And you know what? Either way, it's a main event that nobody ever saw coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say, I gotta go find out tomorrow. This time tomorrow we'll know.
That is true. Now, I was going to ask, who's been the biggest surprise of the season? Because we've had Ace win the whole thing. We had Chance go all the way to the championship for that tournament. We had Adam Collins on his run. Like, who do you think's been the most surprising?
Honestly, I knew how good Chance is. I've seen him in the fan leagues. I played against him once in a team match. I knew how good he is. So nothing he does really surprises me. But what Ace accomplished in that Star Wars tournament, because I'm not going to lie, I doubted him at every turn. I didn't know about Josh Corvedo, but I was like, Ace didn't have a great IG match against Parker, so I'm like, how good will he really be in Star Wars? He surprised me at every turn. And then I had Laura Kelly. I had Kelly winning the whole tournament. And
I went through there too.
Beat her. So what Ace did was amazing to watch. And at the end of it, when he won that tournament, I apologize for ever doubting him. And it's not something I'll really ever do again.
Yeah, you went on for after the match and talked to them, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because I was actually the last. What match was it? Oh, it was the only one I ever appeared on was the match before Laura Kelly, and I had to follow Laura Kelly's surprise promo.
Oh.
I was like, son of a bitch. I even said that on air. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to follow this?
Yeah. I've been incredibly lucky in that aspect where I'm quick enough. I get into those streams where I can ask a question.
Yeah, that just
ask, like, how
the only one where I was able
to get in there all the times. I'm like, I'm lucky.
Yeah, no, for sure. You're like Solomon back in the old Collider Live days. Which I tried to call in. I was off for a month at the end of December of 2018, and I tried to call in every day I was off, and I never fucking got through.
I actually I mean, not quite as many as Saul did, but I got a few calls in on Collider Live, probably about I don't know, 5 or 6 of them. I remember I got a call in when the creators of Cobra Kai were on. I'll never. I got to bring this up. So rewind back to December of 2018. The Captain Marvel trailer had just come out, and they were and Christian and all them were talking about box office for opening weekend, and the highest any of them went was 80 million. And I'm like, really? They're underselling this film. So I remember calling in and I told them, you can take it to the bank. Captain Marvel will make a minimum of 120 million opening weekend. And they all thought I was crazy.
I remember this.
Do you know how much money that movie made opening weekend?
Jesus, probably close to 130, wasn't it?
153.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you call back and rub it in their faces?
I mean, I ain't gonna rub it in their face. It's just a funny story, but I remember at the end of it, Chris was like, he said, I don't agree, but if he's right, we'll have to deem C-Dub the new Nostradamus of box office.
I remember that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I do miss the Collider Live days. Like, nothing against the SCN, but it's just Collider Live and Schmoes for me, man. It was just something special. More so Schmoes, but yeah.
No, I hear you. I mean, it's a shame. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but what ended up happening with Collider, it was a shame because I loved Collider more than anything.
Yeah, it's the combination of the shenanigans and then Cody Hall in the booth, man. Like the MVP of Collider Live.
Yeah, I can come back again at some point. Right? They have to bring him on.
I don't. You know what? The only way he would do that is if he wasn't employed at Collider, because I think they have clauses in their contracts that they can't appear on things like that. Because I know Ryan Satin, Roka was trying to get Ryan Satin on his wrestling show, but because he worked for Collider, he couldn't do it.
And Cody's back in Collider?
Cody, yeah, he's another. At least I think he's still a Collider.
Ryan Satin?
No. Ryan's not. I'm talking. He said Cody Hall. I'm pretty sure
Cody Hall's still a Collider, to my knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember in January when that all went down. When Christian was already gone, and then Movie Talk and every other show was done. I was like, if only I was a freaking billionaire, I'd buy the company for Fernandez. I'd rehire Campy and say, put everything back the way it was.
Yeah, that was a dark, dark fucking day. That was like, what, 2 days after New Year's or some shit like that?
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it that much, but the whole thing seems very shady to me. Even Mark Fernandez, there's something about him that's shady to me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that vibe too. Like, I know Roka really doesn't have much nice things to say about him.
No, he doesn't.
No. And I feel like there's something that went on with Satin too. Like, I know he said, he felt like he hit his ceiling, but I just feel like there was something there as well.
Could he?
Yeah, Christian doesn't really say anything bad about him, but
no, for sure. But Christian's a professional though. Like, that's just, he knows how to pan it all. Like, pretty much the moment he said he was leaving, that's I think when Collider went on the tubes.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like everybody was gone. Like Ellis left. All the hosts had been gone. No Campia. R.I.P. to Schnepp was gone. It was like the people that made me love Collider were gone. Yeah,
and Makuga was on his way out the door. We had Roka, who I enjoyed his stuff. And we had Knapsack, but you're right. Like, a lot of the people that during the heyday, they were all gone. It just wasn't the same.
Yeah, and I like Roxy, but I didn't like it enough to where after Christian was going out, I was still gonna watch. I have to admit, her and Dorina hosting it actually had potential. Like, it was enjoyable. Yeah, it probably was. It just Christian was like. He was like the last piece that was really still keeping me there. Yeah, for sure. He definitely. He was the anchor. Hence, no doubt about it. Everyone can say it was Campy and all that stuff. No, it was Hartloff and Ellis were the anchor. Yeah. I mean, Campia got a bad rap. I quite enjoy Campia. Like, I watch him and Burnett, but I enjoyed Campia.
Yeah, I liked him too when he was with Collider. I did follow him when he left, but I mean, yeah, just kind of fell off with him after a while.
I get it.
Yeah. So, okay, since we're on Collider, since we're on Collider, what's the funniest thing that you ever saw happen with Collider, with those guys? I can tell you right now, the one that popped in my head immediately was when they announced Bad Boy 3s was being postponed or shit, some of that, and Makuga ran and did like a knee slide. It was like, no!
Oh, on Mailbag. It was when they announced it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great moment. The Shit Rats, Petey Peppers, but the funniest where I laughed, I probably would be John Campia's rant when they announced that Ben Affleck was no longer directing the Batman.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah. He went off because I remember he called it like prior to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was intense.
Yeah. Or shit, Christian Harloff's review of the movie Unforgettable. What that was called with the movie with Katherine Heigl. Unforgettable.
Yeah.
I think
Something like that. Yeah, where she's like a stalker or some of that.
Well, she's an ex-wife.
Yeah.
He roasted that movie, and I loved it. It was hilarious.
How about Schnepp's rant on the movie Noelle?
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, too.
Yeah.
Although I go lie, I'm a big Anna Kendrick fan.
Me too.
Me too. If we're only talking Collider, that's one of mine. But if we're talking AMC too, I think I showed you my funniest moment.
Is this the ice bucket?
The ice bucket.
That was pretty good.
So, you remember how everybody was doing the ice bucket thing, right? With the ice over their hands? You remember that, right?
Do you remember C-Dub, the ice bucket challenge from a few years ago? Everybody was doing it for
that was in 2014, right?
Yeah.
Around there, 2014, 2015, yeah. 2014 if it was still with AMC, yeah.
And had me in 2014.
I don't think I ever seen that because that predates me.
It's worth watching. Ben sent it to me a little while ago. It's pretty funny.
I'm putting a little thing.
I don't doubt. And I'll tell you another video. Sorry, Ben.
No, please go ahead.
I'll tell you another video. It wasn't funny for me, but a video that I thought was going to go viral, and I mean, it did decent. I think it got like 60,000 views, was the Collider rap.
Oh, fuck, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I love that video. And I kid you not, I know that entire rap by heart.
Really?
Yeah, I know the entire thing.
Do it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'll do part of Perry's. P. Nimmy checking in. So check this out. Collider News on YouTube. That's what I'm about. Collision course from New York to Los LA. Catch me flying. I'll be rhyming Independence Day.
Very nice. I applaud you.
I fucking love that video. I still watch it. I'd say once every 3 or 4 months, I still watch it. I love that video.
Video pops up all the time in a lot of groups I'm in.
I legit thought that video would have got at least 1 million views.
Yeah, that was actually just before I started watching Collider because I caught it later on. But yeah, no, you're right. It was vastly underrated.
Yeah, I thought, like, I remember playing it for my boss. He's like, "You like this?" I'm like, "You don't?" But he's not a big rap fan.
Gotcha. Oh, we cannot talk Collider and not talk about the time Makuga almost killed Ellis and Johns. Yeah, and then they ended up on the Schmoes No show afterwards. Oh.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. Or shit. How about on another episode of Schmoes Know, freaking Sasha Pearl Raver's cat going after
Yeah,
those
the director.
directors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I miss her. I miss her on that show. I really do.
That remains one of the biggest mysteries to me. She was a part of that TV talk group since the beginning, and then 1 week she was gone. And it was like 1 week she was gone and
Makuga hinted at it right before he departed Collider Live, and he said that she burned some bridges at Collider. That's all he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but you were, yeah.
I didn't dislike Sasha, but I was always on the fence where, like, I didn't really like it too much when she was trashing Wonder Woman. I didn't like that too much because I was so excited for
That's
that
right
movie.
around the time
And it
she
turned out
left,
pretty well.
actually. Yeah, that's right around the time she left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or how about?
She was fine. It's funny. What's funny? I don't know. You guys have the channel FX.
Yes, I do up here. Yeah.
They do that FX movie download where they play movies and then they'll have hosts like talking about the movie during commercial breaks. Her and freaking what's the guy's name? Mike Kalinowski's old partner does that show.
Gertler? Adam
Gertler,
really?
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Or wait, no, it's not Adam Gertler. I don't know why I said that. It's her and somebody else though.
Fair enough. Do you remember the Schmoes Know moment where they did the celebrity dating game and they tricked her?
Sasha or somebody else?
Sasha. It's when they had what's his nuts? Oh God, what's his face who does the Robin Williams impression? Jamie Costa.
Yeah.
They had him pop up a few times.
I mean, I'm sure I've seen it. The celebrities that I think of is with Sinead. I remember hers specifically. But I'm sure I watched it with Sasha because I always watch, at least from 2016 on, I watched Schmoes Know Show. I can't particularly remember that episode.
Hey, I'll have to send you the link because I thought that was pretty genius. Oh, you know what I wish they would fucking do one day for SCN? I wish they would do an after hours.
Well, the problem with that is,
okay, let me rephrase
they once did it after hours and it didn't go well, from what I hear.
Let me rephrase that. They did. It was not exactly an after hours, but they did a bonus show after a show went off the air where they were asking each other like all these private questions. And I think it's when Sinead did fake the orgasm and Makuga held up the mic.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was actually that wasn't after the show. That was during the show.
Oh, was it? Okay, I do know they did another add-on show afterwards, which I don't think you can actually watch anymore.
No, that's the after hours episode I'm talking. I wasn't watching yet, but I heard about it and I heard it wasn't good.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, from what I hear, everyone was pretty drunk,
and some of them were saying some stuff that you just cannot say.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No wonder that episode will never see the light of day.
Yeah, they deleted that from what I was told immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, there's I actually still have the playlist on YouTube of all the old Schmoes Knows episodes. And there's a few that were taken down for sure. Like I know episode 200 you can't watch anymore.
Right.
Oh, really?
I wonder why.
It's probably has to do with Cocaine Donkey, I would assume.
Oh.
I'll tell you another memorable episode of Schmoes Know, The Decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that, and it's reminded me of when Macho Man chose Miss Elizabeth as his partner. Yeah, the episode is Ask Us Anything.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was fucking funny. I miss those old shows, and what I missed the most about them is like with Collider Live and SEN, it was every day, but with Schmoes, it was like event programming because it was only once a week.
Yeah, I get it. Well, the problem is Christian doesn't have his house now,
Yeah.
where he has two kids that could potentially walk in at any given moment.
Yeah, and they did try it at the beginning of COVID where they had the reunion shows, which were fun.
Right.
Just wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it was probably difficult on Christian because of the family and all
Yeah.
to keep doing it.
Well, that's why he left for a
Yeah.
little bit when Ellis took over hosting, which is actually when I started to watch. I think the first episode I watched was Harloff's last episode before his second daughter was born.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly missed the Schmoes show.
Yeah, no, there's definitely nothing like it. That's for sure. Like that's just the kind of stuff I like. It's just what Christian likes to do, man. Just people shooting the shit and having fun with your friends.
Yeah.
Like we're doing.
When I remember a couple years ago at work, they like where I work, you've got the main store, and then across the street is the warehouse, the lumber yard, and the street in the middle, they were redoing all the plumbing and stuff. So we had to put a container in the yard for contractors and stuff. I got stuck in there with nothing to do. I remember I spent most of my days for like 3 weeks watching old Schmoes Knows episodes. Yeah, that's no joke. That's what I did, and that's how I caught up on the AfterBuzz era.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Get paid to watch YouTube. That's a great way to get
Oh
paid.
fuck yeah! I went like sometimes I went like 2 hours between customers, so I just sat there and watched YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah. You guys still keep up with Screen Junkies?
No.
To be honest, Screen Junkies wasn't something I really ever watched. I might have watched a bit. I watched one movie fight that Christian was a part of, but because like Finding Collider, and I literally watched everything that Collider did. It didn't leave me much time to watch really anything else.
Fair enough.
So-
Like I started with Screen Junkies, but after a while it just kind of petered off. And then when Merle left, it's like I got no reason to watch anymore.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know why you guys feel like this. I think I know you, Matt. And here's a little cute comfort now.
Yeah, it
Does
is.
that make sense?
Yeah, and I mean, like when it's, I have watched the occasional episode where if it's like Joe Starr and Billy Business and Eric Goldman on, like I find those three to be enjoyable. But yeah, for the most part, it's like, you know, I'm not really into movie news like that anymore, like I was in the heyday.
I will say I have watched a few the trailer thing that they do.
Oh, Honest Trailers, yeah.
Honest
those
Trailer.
I think watch those.
I have watched a few of them.
Fuck, I remember when they did that big benefit and somebody pledged $10,000 and the poor Honest Trailer writers had to do Doctor Who. All of it.
Yep. I didn't know it was $10,000, but wow.
I hear Merle bitch about that. Because I think he got stuck with the old stuff. That's what it was.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't know if any of you guys have tried to watch it.
Yeah, I've never watched an episode of Doctor Who, so I definitely won't watch a trailer for it.
No, I'd watch the Honest Trailers, to be honest. I would.
They're good. I like them.
Actually, my favorite part wasn't the trailers; it was the commentary.
Yeah. My favorite commentary was whenever they did a Transformers one. And you didn't see what English is damn success in particular for those movies.
I don't remember that one.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, because the one I remember is when they had the Zach Stentz was on.
Okay?
He's a writer, but when they had the Russo brothers on.
Yeah. Did you see the one when they had a Lion King do it too?
When they had a what, sorry?
The Lion King do it too.
No, I didn't.
Jon Favreau?
No.
No, the
Not
original.
the original.
No, I didn't.
I'll send
I
it to
really
you
like
guys.
the original. I know who scored. I know who did the score for the original Lion King.
Hans Zimmer.
The best ever.
He's definitely up there.
Nothing against John Williams, but Hans Zimmer's my guy. I love
Oh, really?
Hans Zimmer. I mean,
Yeah,
I can see
more towards John Williams. Very nice.
like that trilogy. I loved movies since I was a kid. The Dark Knight elevated that love to where it is today.
Oh, really? Okay, what was it about it that did that?
Heath's performance. It's the best acting performance that I've ever seen. I know every line he has in the film. I've seen that film. I watched it a dozen times in the theaters, 4 times opening weekend.
Wow.
I love that movie so much.
That beats my record for most times seeing a movie. Mine was 6.
What's yours?
Superman Returns.
6 for that movie? Okay.
I enjoy the movie.
I mean, it's not terrible, but I mean, I will say I did enjoy Kevin Spacey in it.
And I agree. And Brandon Routh is a good Superman. It's just he was saddled with not the best movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all you need to do is look at his performance in the Crisis crossover last year, and that's what we could have gotten.
I want that show. I want the show of Superman flying. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually excited for the show that they got coming out, Superman and Lois. I'm really excited for that one.
You mean the Small Man Part 2? That's all it is.
Well, not particularly, because this one, they're going to be raising kids.
Yeah, it's a continuation of Small Man.
Not really, but come on. No, I mean, seriously, I'm actually looking forward to that.
Knight, that is my favorite film of all time.
Okay. I admit it's the best one of the trilogy, but I personally am a Batman Begins guy.
I love Begins. I love all 3.
Oh, yeah. No, Dark Knight Rises gets too much shit sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't get it. I understand it partially because when you follow up a film like The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises, admittedly, it's not as good. So I think most people look at that like it's a failure just because it wasn't as good as The Dark Knight. But Nolan, that's almost a fucking impossible task to make a movie as great as The Dark Knight was.
I feel the exact same way about The Godfather 3.
I've never seen Godfather 3, but I really like 1 and 2.
Yeah, Godfather 3 is actually pretty good, but it falls into the same problem where it had to follow part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I will die on the hill that Godfather 3 is a good movie. Really good movie.
You even like what's your name in it?
I didn't mind her. She never bugged me.
Interesting.
Yeah. I honestly, I've seen worse performances.
Okay. Okay.
Now, do I find the whole cousins making love thing a little weird? Yes. Yeah, it is interesting.
But yeah, I love Nolan. And people say they love the original Star Wars trilogy the most, or whether it's Lord of the Rings. I got no beefs if that's your favorite. Me, the Dark Knight trilogy, to me, is basically perfection.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Like, they're definitely up there for trilogies for me, for sure.
Yeah, like actually earlier today when I was in between jobs working, I rewatched Bruce climbing out of the pit. That's one of my favorite moments in the franchise.
Really?
I love that. It's the music. That's why I love Hans Zimmer. I think John Williams is great and he's done amazing scores, but Hans Zimmer scores they touch me more.
Yeah, his I don't think the Batman movies would have hit as hard as they did if it wasn't for his score. Especially
Absolutely.
His Bane
it was like they were characters in the film.
Yeah, especially his Bane theme. His Bane theme is amazing.
I'm more partial to Joker, but yeah, Bane's was really good.
Yeah, see, I can picture Bane's more than I can Joker's.
Well, I mean, it was probably more like because you heard it in the teaser for the film. Yeah.
Here's some interesting trivia for you. Remember the part in Dark Knight Rises when Bane when a guy was up in Bane and Bane's like, do you feel what you're in shorts? You guys remember that?
Trying to remember. That's not the beginning, is it?
No, it was somewhere in the middle of the movie. That
What
guy,
scene you talking?
Yeah, sorry.
when,
You're gonna have to repeat his lines again.
when Bane's like, do you feel like you're in charge?
Oh yeah.
With,
You feel like you're in charge. Yeah.
with Dagger. Yeah, with Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah. And then he.
Okay.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? That's a really good scene.
My favorite moment from that movie is just after he defeats everybody on the ice, and then they light the gas, and it lights the bat symbol up on the bridge.
Yeah.
Like
That was a good moment.
Yes. So badass.
How about the moment where,
Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
how about the moment where Gordon realizes Freeze is back now?
Oh yeah, that's one of the better reveals I've ever seen.
Yeah. And as sad as it made me, because I knew that was the last film that Nolan was doing, the ending, I thought the ending was perfect. I love the ending.
In Italy?
Well, I mean like the last 5 minutes, with Blake, Robin, and then him discovering the cave, and the music is kicking in. I love that ending.
I would really like to see like a supplemental material or something on Blake to see what he did with that.
I doubt you're ever going to see that, because he said the only way he would come back is if Nolan was directing, and he's doing his own passion projects now.
No, that's not quite what I meant. Like I didn't mean like another movie, like maybe like a comic book or something, like just something just to in some form. Like I'm just curious to see what he did with the legacy of Batman, right?
I mean, I would be. I think at this point though, they're past their. It's been a little bit too long. So I mean, it's been 8 years since that movie came out. I think it's
already. Holy shit!
yeah, that was 2012.
Holy crap! Well, what was first? Was it that or was it Man of Steel?
Man of Steel was 2013.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe it's been that long already. Holy fuck!
When came out, I think you had the Avengers.
The Avengers was 2012. It came out 2 months before Dark Knight Rises did.
I thought it was 2013 because I remember I had a concussion during that and I had to go see the movie.
Now, Avengers was 2012. It was May 4th, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, you're right. 2012. Okay, sorry, this mistaken. I got a minor concussion like a week before, but I already bought my ticket, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm going opening night. And don't go watch a movie in the theater with a concussion.
I'll never forget the theater I went to for Avengers, seen that Dark Knight Rises trailer 3. That I don't know if you specifically remember, like I always say, The Dark Knight's my favorite film. The Dark Knight Rises had the best trailers for any movie, and my anticipation level for Rises will probably never, another film will never have me anticipating a film like I was for Rises.
See, me was the Avengers. That's the
I was excited for the Avengers. I was really excited. But I kid you not, in 2012, in the lead up, when I knew there was 100 days until The Dark Knight Rises came out, every day I got home from work, I'd make a post on Facebook. 100 days until Dark Knight Rises. 99 days, 98, and all the way down. I don't think a movie will ever have me that excited.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. What's your favorite movie theater experience then? For me, hands down, Endgame. Hands down.
Endgame was a good experience. Unfortunately, I didn't love the movie like I wanted to. I really liked it. It was good. But my first experience, my favorite, it would have to be The Dark Knight. I've seen that at midnight. And I remember coming out of that theater, it was 3 a.m. and I was blown away. I couldn't believe that I assumed I would like the movie. I had no idea I was going to love that movie so much. And in 2008, that movie dominated my life.
Mm.
And I went again that Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. I had it on, and I can say this, I had it on bootleg a week later, and I was still going to the theater and seeing
Holy shit. Okay, that's commitment.
Yeah, that movie, it changed everything for me.
Oh, man.
People probably got sick of being around me because it's all I wanted to talk about.
No kidding. The reason why I say Endgame is because I saw it the Thursday night screen, the very first screening, and to see it with all the fans cheering at the right moments, freaking out when Cap got Mjolnir, and then hearing the theater erupt when you heard On Your Left.
Yeah.
Like,
that's Endgame was really good. Endgame was really good. There was just certain things about it that I didn't care for, like the fat drunk Thor. It annoyed the hell out of me.
As a fat, depressed person, I loved it. I'm like, finally, somebody like me.
Which I understand. I do. I don't have a problem with heavyset people. I really don't.
Yeah.
It annoyed me. After a while, it started to come on. It's getting old at this point.
What I liked the most is when he finally became Thor. At the end, they didn't have him go skinny again. They kept him as the depressed Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him in the final battle, that final like hour was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. All the imagery you got from that, fuck.
Yeah. The final battle was everything I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's like even Infinity War. I didn't love Infinity War like I wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, I really liked it, but I didn't love it. Like the first Avengers movie, I fucking loved from beginning to end. It's still my favorite MCU movie.
Oh. For me, the longest time it was Winter Soldier, but then when Endgame hit and I saw it a few times, I was like, yeah, I think this might be the one.
Yeah.
I think my favorite MCU movie is Endgame or Thor Ragnarok. I love that movie.
That period of Marvel movies was so good. Because you had Black Panther, you had Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is underrated. You had Infinity War, you had Endgame, you had Spider-Man at the very end, Thor Ragnarok. Like, that's a very solid slate right there.
I don't think they had a movie, bad movie since Thor 2. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. And I wouldn't call it a bad film either. It's just a boring film.
Yeah. Kind of pointless.
For the most part, they got a good track record. I mean, there's a couple of movies in the MCU that I don't like. Guardians 2. Even though I loved Downey in the role, I hated Iron Man 3. Doctor Strange was fine. I didn't really care for the Incredible Hulk because I didn't like Ed Norton in it.
Doctor Strange one, I wouldn't mind seeing Doctor Strange high on drugs one day. I said I wouldn't mind seeing Doctor Strange high on drugs one day. I think that one would freak me out.
I think the next one's going to be pretty damn good. The Multiverse of Madness. I'm really excited for that.
I'd say that's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Of upcoming films. I mean, yes, but also it could be Spider-Man, this third one, if Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are indeed in it.
Yeah.
They are, then I might be a little bit more excited for that.
I'm trying to think, but if all these rumors are true about 93, then I can't wait for it. But I don't know if they're true.
For me, man, it's all the possibilities you can get from the Multiverse of Madness. Like, maybe it could be where they introduce the Fantastic Four or the X-Men, or maybe that could be where we see the other Spider-Man. Like, who knows? There's just so many possibilities with that. That's what got me excited. Gets me excited.
I do believe it's true. It's legit that will happen, because why else would you bring back Jamie Foxx and Dane DeHaan if you're not going to bring back Andrew Garfield
and Sam Raimi as the director?
Well, that's Doctor Strange too. That's not just Spider-Man 3.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, got confused with the two.
Yeah, Sam Raimi's directing Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
but those two movies could be like kind of maybe not sequels, but could tie in together somehow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, the possibilities are endless when you're dealing with the multiverse.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And with that pretty much brings an end to our time. We've been at it for an hour, boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
C-Dub, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Christopher Woodburn, Twitter, Chris Woodburn 83, as it says right there below, and Facebook, Christopher Michael Woodburn. And I'd like to say, Ben, Matt, thank you so much for having me on. This was fucking awesome. And if you're Schmoedown fans, and I assume you are, tomorrow night, big doubleheader. Corruption defends the belts against Shazam. And in the undercard, Stacey Harris versus Gray Drake. And if you see him, so sorry, Lex.
All right, where can everybody find you, Ben?
you can find me on Facebook and on Twitter at BenRaderQ. You also show Get Ready with Matt right here. And I have a Schmoedown show called Matt's Schmoedown, where we break down careers of players. So come check me out at all those places.
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, soda_the_Saxman. You can also find me weekly at the Schmoes of the North YouTube page, where on Schmoedown Night in Canada, we break down the week in Schmoedown, and on Northern Consultations, where we interview people from around the league. Today, our interview with Liz Shannon Miller just dropped, and I must say it was a very pleasant interview. That's pretty much the words that's bouncing around. Is it was pleasant. And then, like Ben said, you can find me on this channel every Sunday on Get Sweaty. So with that, thank you very much, C-Dub, for being here. Much appreciated. Love to have you back in the future. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.